You guys probably thought that after my initial reaction video that there wouldn't be any more Lisa content to break down. However, it has only just begun. So in this video, we're going to be looking deeper into the visuals and talking more about them from a design perspective. So something I like about this already is the way that they're cutting from color to black and white, using the lights. And we've gone to this different kind of style, and have a look at this blazer. It's actually filled with references to different bands. And this wouldn't actually be the first time we've seen Lisa wear this kind of clothing that references these kinds of rock bands, which I think is pretty cool for someone who's pretty much making music in like the hip hop or dance, K-pop genre, to be able to listen to multiple kinds of music and not just be in the one bubble. It's kind of cool that she is open to having these rock band references. So an interesting thing that they've done here is, even though that this is supposed to be a solo for Lisa, they've included a lot of references back to BLACKPINK. As you can see, the lighting here is pink and she's wearing a black outfit, but they've also cleverly contrasted everything so that she stands out and the other dancers are kind of there just to support. So really, because of Lisa standing out, we're more focused on Lisa. I like how they've made massive letters of her name here. I think it's kind of interesting that in this part here, they've got the dancers just standing there as mannequins in like shop windows. I think it's also very clever how they've positioned where she is in this shot. Like her hand isn't actually blocking that sign up here. It easily could have when they were filming this, but they've framed it quite well. It's interesting here she mentions sipping on champagne, but the drink that she picks up doesn't quite look like champagne. It could be like some kind of a grape flavored drink maybe. Now this shot's also kind of cool. I'm not sure if she's actually lying down on that, or maybe it's the wall and people are like pushing against it. I think they were going for it to look like the ground, but it was probably the wall. That beanie is actually one of the lines from her merch store, which recently just dropped, and it was the first thing to get sold out. Here we got the scene of her driving the bike, and that brings it back to the poster earlier. I actually find it interesting that during the time we see her on the bike, she doesn't actually mention the lyric. I almost think that Catch Me If You Can poster didn't quite actually relate to the video. Even though the lyric is in there and kind of makes sense in context of having the bike, it didn't actually quite match up with the music video. Now this scene I really like. These police officers are actually Polisa, which I think is pretty clever. I don't know if she thought of that herself, but I like that. That's good stuff. This is kind of cool as well. Another little detail here is that these bollards, I'm assuming they're bollards, they're actually speakers, which is kind of cool. This shot's really cool, how they've managed to use the pole in the center of the frame, and as Lisa goes past it, she switches outfits, which is kind of cool. Fun fact, I think she only spent 5 hours or so learning how to do this, and then she was like, yep, I'm ready for the music video. So here's another example of them using contrast. The scenery itself is very bright. Everyone else is kind of wearing a dark color, so we can focus our attention onto Lisa. So it's interesting how they go from this to this, and then it's kind of like a completely different vibe from that point. The transition here is pretty cool as well. It's actually really cool from this part where she's able to visually represent Thailand and their culture, particularly through the outfits and the set, which is actually quite significant considering that this is K-pop, right? But she's not Korean. If you didn't know that, now you know. And yeah, that's kind of it for the design breakdown of this video. I do like the variation of different scenery we get. Yeah, I thought there would be a little bit more Easter eggs in this, but besides the ones that really reference BLACKPINK, there isn't too much. It's just a lot of different dances and scenery and outfits. Yeah, overall it's quite good. And if you know what you're expecting from like a BLACKPINK song, or from what Lisa does on BLACKPINK songs, then for sure you'll definitely like this. But for those of you that are harsher critics, you probably think otherwise. You probably may think that it's a lazy effort. Obviously there was probably some COVID restrictions when filming this as well, but I would say it is what it is. And to be honest, I like it. I'm actually a relatively new fan, so I don't have all of that past experience of listening to K-pop that much. So obviously my opinion may be very different to someone that's been in the K-pop world for a long time. But yeah, that's just some quick thoughts that I have on the overall design and visual elements of LALISA. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and check out the Discord page. We'd love to have you on board, and we'll see you in the next one.